Welcome to Just Relationships, the show that offers you concrete ways to make your relationships better. Whether it's your boss, your spouse, your children, or your friends, the quality of your relationships in life directly affects how you feel about yourself and the success you achieve. Your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer, a psychotherapist, telecoach, author, and seminar leader, will interview top experts to help you learn to manage this essential part of your life. And now, here's your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer.
Greetings to you. If you listened to last week's show, you know that we are talking about how to unvictimize yourself, how to go from being a victim to a victor. And if you didn't tune into last week's show, you can get it on podcast. And basically what I want to do is give you all the information now in a more advanced way, a different way. If you don't get a chance to listen to part one, that's what we're looking at, how to move from being a victim to a victor. And I am very pleased to introduce to you Edwige Gilbert, who is the author of Victim to Victorious, a fresh start in 28 days. Welcome, Edvidge. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Duffy.
My pleasure. And I love what we covered in last week's show. The idea of habits, that the 28-day piece, you might say, oh, that's crazy. I have been so unhappy for decades, and now you're going to tell me I can have a fresh start in 28 days. Well, that's the truth for brain science, as long as you do not miss a beat.
Thank you.
Right, Edvidge? You don't miss a beat.
Oh, I even add to that, to reinforce that beat, not to miss the beat, is to use, I encourage clients to use an MP3, which is custom made based on their story of transforming their personal story. And they listen to that at night before they go to bed, because we know it works very well during sleep time. And during the day, I give them password, 3 words with an anchor, which is based on NLP techniques. And that during their regular day activity, they activate that password. Whenever they feel in a not such a pleasant space, mental space, they will say calm, centered, connected, which we discussed last time, or whatever works for them. Mm-hmm. And that activate the emotion. A word creates an emotion, right? And the emotion gets you to feel different, act different, getting different results.
Wow. So tell us what an MP3 is.
Oh, it's a recording that I'm sending you. And it's usually the time we meet before we have a Zoom call. I interview you. What is it you don't want? What is it you want? What stops you? All this. Then we discuss how she's going to use this. And it's a recording based on meditation, hypnosis. So it's an hypnotic technique based, but with my mindfulness base, and it's all mixed together, words, power of words. And it takes 20 minutes, and people listen to it. The more they listen, Dr. Duffy, the better the results, as we know, every day.
And we can listen to that while we sleep and when we're awake?
Yes, people fall asleep on it, which is great when people have insomnia. It put them in that REM sleep, which is very healthy for them. And you can listen. Depends what you want to use. I always ask, do you want to use it during morning or night? So the ending changes. The whole thing stays the same. Just the ending, you don't come out of it. You go into your deep sleep, or 3, 2, 1, back up. Victory to you.
Beautiful. And I have to tell you, Edvidge, that I love your eclectic approach.
Thank you.
I also am very eclectic. And And I think that it takes a lifetime of experience and knowledge to pull in so many different things.
Yes.
And I find hypnosis absolutely fascinating. And I do a very mild, not obvious version of it in my therapy practice. And the idea of the meditation and the passwords and the awareness of what words mean and what our subconscious is telling us. And do you help people listen to their subconscious? Like how, because that's so deep, the nature of the subconscious is so deep. So what are you telling yourself, right? Okay. What is your self-talk? Okay.
So I, as we talked last week about that, because of I needed to really have a very powerful, potent self-talk. And this is what it is every day for me, because I don't get out of bed before I do my meditation. Because I know once I'm up, it's going to be distractions all the way. So I say to myself, I use that Buddhist prayer, which is in the book. May I be safe. May I be protected. And I really reflect on that, especially now with all that we went through with the pandemic, and we still don't know, what happens to us future-wise. We need to feel that. And then I really emotionally respond to those words. May I be healthy and strong. Yes, I need to be healthy. I cannot go in the world and accomplish my goals without being healthy. And I added that. I changed the original Buddhist version. I added, may I be peaceful, loving, and joyful. Because joyful is a result of activating the peace, not being always angst. Loving, yes, compassionate and kind. I just had to write an article on that, kindness, 4 ways to express kindness. And there are many more for, but my personal experience. And so I do that. And I say, password, victory. Remember, victim to victorious. So victory is the word. Victory to me, victory is mine. I claim it. And then I say, I'm happy to be me, because it's important to feel you good being you and not trying to be J-Lo or the Kardashian, right? Please. And filters and what else we got to do? Change everything artificially. And happy to be me, and I welcome the world of infinite possibilities. That is so important for me, because we don't know what the day has in store for us.
Right.
Things happen. Meeting you interviewing me. That wasn't in my daily calendar,
Yeah.
And we need to be open and imagine what it is. Power of imagination is just images that you conjure up on the screen of your mind. And what do you see on that screen? Do you see yourself getting things happening, meeting people you want, loving your life, feeling good, or not? Because you will manifest it exactly as you see.
It's so amazing, isn't it, how we manifest these things, and the whole self-fulfilling prophecy and the power of beliefs, and what you had said in the last show, the idea that a belief is a fact. It's a thought that we believe is true.
And you keep repeating and repeating. I'm stupid. I can't do this. And then all of a sudden you wonder why your actions are not matching the way your beliefs. No.
Yeah.
And you asked me, Dr. Duffy, about how do we know the belief that we hold, because they are subconscious. Well, my question would be to ask you, are you getting what you want? Are you getting the results you want? Is it working for you? Is your life working for you, creating passion, joy, unstoppable, and loving life? If that is not the answer, then your subconscious needs to be reprogrammed. That's it.
Yes, reprogrammed, and the idea of hypnosis. Can you tell us more about that? How do you use hypnosis?
Okay, so we need to demystify this word. People get very intimidated by that. What are you going to make me talk like a chicken, or
yes.
So in circus. No. Hypnosis to me is a deep state of relaxation. It's actually getting to alpha state, from beta, and it's theta, alpha. Then delta is sleep. We don't want that. Although it is good, yes, to have it through your sleep, but I still want people to understand what they're listening to, right? So you go into the relaxed state, and the relaxed state happens when you use the sensory approach, meaning I'm sitting here on my chair, noticing my buttocks against the chair, my back, I'm breathing. So I go for what I'm listening. You're listening to my voice. You're hearing. All of a sudden, you lose your connection to the control part of the brain, to and there. So you start letting go, and now you go deep, and then I count backward. I got you to imagine going down a staircase with 5 steps, moving through a hallway, and there is a door at the end, and it says your name, screening room. And this is where you access my technique of the screening room, where you enter and you sit on the chair, you become the conductor, the director of your own movie. Victory to you. What do you see? For people, it is losing weight, if that's their primary goal. Could be, because the weight is not the issue, Dr. Duffy, and you know that.
Yes.
It is the response to your inability to feel safe within. We discussed that. So once you know how to feel safe within, you're not going to eat for comfort, and you lose weight. So,
right. I just love that, safe within. And I know that you are donating a part of your book proceeds to Movies Making a Difference, which is to help victims of human trafficking. And how did you get involved with Movies Making a Difference?
Because
what attracted you to it? That's
Diana
where you
Davis.
and I met. Yeah.
Yes. I met Diana Davis. No, actually, I went to see the movie, The Benz Hotel, the red carpet movie of the first one, not the Curl Cartel, was it? Curl Cartel, I believe, yes. This was last year. And when I heard her being praised by her accomplishments, saving people's lives, and I always wanted to be part of an organization where I could make a difference.
Yes, so you're referring to you're referring to Diana Davis.
Diana Davis. So I talked to Diana, and she said, we're looking for a coach to help us transform these people's life. And so I went on many Zoom calls with them. And so I helped some of the victims of definitely sex trafficking. And then she asked me, she said, Christmas is coming. That was last year. Christmas is coming. I wish I could give them a workbook, where they could feel safe in it and find their answers to help them. And I said, okay, maybe I should write a book then.
Wow.
So she really propelled me to write, because I already had a first book called The First Stop Promise, which is a big book. It has like 300 pages. And it has some of my techniques and more stories. But then I decided in this one, I added things and I extracted the most important elements that I worked with myself, that changed my life, changed people's life, that work in a drug rehab in New York City. A very famous, the equivalent to Betty Ford clinic. So my 28 days really came from the drug and alcohol rehab. And I tested all the techniques on addicts. And I would see them in New York City on being a bus conductor. And they would say, your finger technique here, I use it all the time. Thank you.
Wow.
And that's how I developed all this to help those people that were struggling, staying sober and didn't have a vision of their life. And that's how it began and connect and continue with Diana Davis. And
I so agree with starting with vision. And if, you're right, if people lack vision, there's nowhere to go. It's just same old, same old. Yes. But to have a vision and to have a vision of such optimism of what is possible, as you said, infinite possibilities.
Yes.
And so MAD is involved, movies making a difference, not only about making documentaries about human trafficking so people really understand what it is, and seeing how people can be taken out of it and helped. They also do the help themselves. They also rehab individuals. And once you're freed from a human trafficking situation, where do you go? What do you do? How do you live?
Yes.
What do you live on? What kind of work do you do?
Yes.
All of this, it's so big. And these are such huge circumstances, Edvidge, that I wonder, I think it's a combination of vision and real help, right?
Yeah.
Real hands-on help.
Yes. And they're getting that through Diana Davis, who helped them come out and put them on a rehab. And so we work really side by side. And she's an extraordinary woman who's going to be awarded the cover of Filmmaker magazine. Very happy.
Beautiful.
And proud of her. Yes. So she gave me the motivation to write a book that can be used by anyone. And I'm happy to say at the moment I have the daughter of a good friend of mine who is translating the book in French. And she is 28 years old. And when I met her, she was down, doesn't have a boyfriend and looking for a job and this kind of negative down energy. And she said, your book changed my life. And she's 28. So I'm thinking that this book can be used by the 28 to the 88.
Yes.
And it's a book for all of us, whether you are on a journey already or not. You can get so much because it is what it is. I collected everything that is out there in many, many different books, and people have no time, especially today with, we don't have time to read much. They can have access to the law of attraction is in there. The Tony Robbins technique is in there. Mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is a big word now, right? Mindfulness.
The emotional release technique.
That's my invention is in there.
Yes.
Anything that immediate results. And then as you work every day, you get to plant new seeds deep in the subconscious. And once those seeds are there, they will only give, birth to you, to the way you are meant to be from the beginning of your time on this earth. And and childhood is so critical. The moment I know a person's childhood, I can understand everything about them. And I'm sure you
Oh, yes. Absolutely. To understand what people have been up against, what people have endured, how people have been conditioned.
Yes.
And how they come to believe certain things. And what I do is I always validate people because they got to this point today where everything they did enabled them to survive.
Yes.
And they are a survivor. And now we move from surviving to thriving.
Yes, thank you.
But always to validate the fact that those beliefs came from certain people, for you as with your grandmother, certain circumstances, certain conclusions that the child makes subconsciously, and then to unearth them and to expose them as the imposters that they are.
Yes.
Yes. And I want people to know your victory contract. I just love it.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, lifelong victory contract. I declare once and forevermore, I declare I'm a unique individual with a special purpose. I am meant to have a rich and fulfilling life.
Yes.
I am worthy of respect and self-respect.
Yes.
And there are more. And then I move into, because I believe all these things and I declare all these things, I am able to commit to using my daily practice on my journey, continuing my practice of being kind and loving toward myself and others, continue to look within for divine intelligence and guidance, the divine spark that each of us has, the divine spark. And that screening room metaphor is brilliant, Edvidge, absolutely brilliant. And as a Gestalt therapist, when we analyze dreams, we do almost the identical thing. If a patient or a client comes to me with a dream, I remind them that that dream is 1000% them, doesn't come from anywhere else but them. They are the author, they are the programmer, they are the promoter, they are the producer, they are every single actor and every single item in the dream. Which gives people a strong sense of power. You know, wow, I'm all that. Well, if I can produce that dream, which was scary, then I can produce a much happier, easier, safer life, even in this day and age, Edvidge, right? Even in this day and age.
More than ever, Dr. Duffy, I believe that all that we have gone through, and we're not sure what is next on our journey, is meant to get us to wake up. And we are entering the age of Aquarius. We were in the Pisces age, and the Pisces was all about sacrificing ourselves for the sake of others, right? No longer. We're off the cross now, and the Aquarius announced fraternity, good news, creativity, innovation, and we are doing it together. It's a sense of unity that the Aquarius, remember the hair, the age of Aquarius, right?
Absolutely.
And that was like, so we're entering a new time where people say, after the pandemic, people never went back to work. They decided time for my passion, time for things I never could allow myself. So it is a wonderful time. I mean, it's a blessed time if we decide to believe that thought. Not say, oh my God, it's so scary. I'm going to die. And there is another pandemic show its face. And we don't know now. We have no more this. No. People are in sheer, I see them around me, the energy of people. In stores, I went to France and I was at the airport and I could see those who felt safe and those who were paranoid. And they were traveling.
Right. Oh, Edvidge, I wish we could talk more and more, and I know you and I will.
Yes.
I'm so happy that you're in my life.
Me
and
too.
as fellow members of Movies Making a Difference.
Yes.
And again, if you just tuned in, to help victims of human trafficking, and that your book, Edwige Gilbert, Gilbert, Victim to Victorious, A Fresh Start in 28 Days, is available on Amazon and Kindle, and donations from proceeds from the book are going to Movies Making a Difference, making a real difference in the lives of the victims of human trafficking. And keep up the good work, Edvidge.
I wanted to say, I would like to also give people go on my website, which is in transformation mode, but contact page, you will have an MP3 of the 3 C's meditation, mindfulness meditation, which starts the journey. And you also have a sample of Dextra, the one I described.
Oh, beautiful.
So please go on.
What is your website?
New Life Directions.
newlifedirections.com.
Yes.
And that's where we get an MP3.
Yes, contact Edvidge.
Your wonderful finger technique that you created. newlifedirections.com. And you can access Edwige Gilbert right now. Thank you so much, Edwige Gilbert, for a wonderful 2 weeks of interviewing. And this is Dr. Duffy Spencer saying goodbye for now and wishing you great relationships.